Hey folks, Jackdaw here. Dragon's Dogma 2 is bringing us deeper relationships in a huge open world 4 times bigger than before. With more characters than ever, the big question on everyone's mind is, will romance play a role in this highly anticipated sequel? Well, we're not entirely sure about the details on romance in DD2 just yet. I'm taking a closer look at how the first game handled its somewhat complex and awkward romance system. And I must say, this exploration is crucial to understanding how romance might work in the sequel. Because in the original Dragon's Dogma, your love interest and the whole romance system was a surprise thrown in there at the very end based on an invisible affinity system. If Dragon's Dogma 2 follows the same idea, this guide will be key in figuring out how romance works in the game. So without further ado, let's uncover how romance worked in the original Dragon's Dogma with the hope of shedding light on how it will work in the sequel. So as previously stated, back in 2012, Dragon's Dogma caught me off guard with its subtle, surprising romance system. Unlike other games at the time, with romance as a huge marketing feature like Mass Effect or The Witcher, heck, even Skyrim, where it's overtly communicated how to marry somebody, Dragon's Dogma didn't make a big fuss about its romance at all. In fact, the game kept its romance elements so under wraps that even the main character and the player might not realize they're in love with one of the world's NPCs until the game explicitly told them so in the final moments of the game, when your so-called beloved was kidnapped by a dragon. So not only is it a hidden feature, but once actually understood, it's a very unique, inclusive experience. Your Arisen can romance practically any named NPC in the world, regardless of gender. However, the system's complexity came with a twofold. It operates like a guessing game, and you might end up with a romantic partner completely different from your original expectations. Trust me, this has happened to many of us, and to some of us in the worst ways possible. At the heart of DD1's romance mechanic is the measurement of affinity, representing how much a character likes you. To successfully romance someone, you must ensure that your affinity with them is high. An increasing affinity includes various actions, such as gifting gifts, assisting with quests, and utilizing their services like purchasing goods or staying at their inn. It's pretty straightforward. If an NPC dislikes a gift, you're going to lose a bit of affinity, although it can be regained quite easily with a bit of effort. Lesser NPCs are going to require a bit more significant efforts to regain their favor, whereas more certain prominent NPCs are easier because they have side quest lines that can max out your affinity with them. Popular examples including Valmiro, Celine, Ilnor, and Renard. It saves throwing gifts their way, and what is a more telling way to tell somebody that you love them than by putting your own life at risk for the sake of others, even in the face of impending world-saving responsibilities. In addition to everything already mentioned, there's a special item called the Arisen's Bond, and I believe it was added in the Dark Arisen updated version of the game. This bond was obtained in the side quest The Dragon's Tongue, and it played a key role in romancing your desired NPC specifically, because when you gave this special ring as a gift to an NPC that you liked, it instantly maximized their affinity with you, which sounds perfect, right? Just go over, give this ring to Quina, and she's going to be at the end of my game, right? Well, not exactly, because the ring only maxes out your affinity with that one specific NPC, and here's where it gets really unpredictable, because you can max out your affinity with multiple NPCs. And if you do have multiple NPCs with max affinity, the game at the end will automatically choose the last person with max affinity that you spoke to as your love interest. And this person then becomes tied to your Arisen and becomes your partner in life. And so while this system would be fine if it only considered important characters to the story, the game treats all NPCs equally, and this becomes an issue because typically we're all going to go and talk to our most favoured NPCs, and they're going to be the ones that attract us the most. However, we're not going to be interacting as much with those as we are with the town merchants and the innkeepers, who are also up for grabs in terms of romance. And so relying on how frequently you chat with NPCs NPCs can lead to unexpected and sometimes awkward results. Like ending up with the burly merchant who you hauled all your goods to every trip instead of the Duke's wife. Because from a gameplay level, you simply had more use with that burly merchant. So here's the takeaway for DD2. Just in case, regularly talk to the NPC you desire, especially towards the end of the game. Alternatively, just focus on maxing out affinity only with your desired character. This way, it's crystal clear who holds your heart. And if you just want to be extra careful and sure, go around the world losing affinity with everyone else. Take that merchant you usually trade with, swing your sword around his goods, pick him up, throw him around, and give him gifts that he absolutely despises. He will hate the sight of you, ending any kind of romance plotline. Ultimately, in DD1, I really enjoyed how our love interest played a crucial role at the end of the game, serving as a bargaining tool in the final conflict with the dragon. This added a surprising twist, giving my character just a few more personal stakes beyond retrieving his heart. It felt like he was not only physically taking back his heart from an evil dragon, but also on a metaphorical level, he was saving his new love interest, kind of like metaphorically regaining his heart too. A delightful, fun little twist, with a hopeless romantic little ending there. And so in regards to DD2, it is shaping up to be a significant improvement over the first game in many different aspects. While the return of the romance system hasn't been officially confirmed, it's hard to imagine not for it to make a comeback. Especially on record, the devs have said that we can deepen our relationships with the NPCs in this world, tying into further side content. I just hope that the romance system isn't as hidden as it was in the original game this time around. At least reveal it to us in some marketing material so we just know a little bit extra. Also, with DD2 set in a parallel world of the original, the Arisen's bond ring, the one that could maximize your affinity with your specific NPC of your choosing, that could easily make a return. This time, however, it should definitely stick with the player's choice of a love interest. In my last Dragon's Dogma video, I explored a full list of characters massively featured in the game's story. Many of them certainly brilliant candidates for potential romance. So do check out my previous story video for more on each of the known story characters so far. I've certainly already got my eyes on Ulrika and Wilhelmina. But anyway, here's hoping changes are made to Dragon's Dogma 2's romance system if the feature is indeed returning. And if it's just like the first game, well hey, at least you now know what to do in DD2. But let me know all of your thoughts down below. Who would you like to romance? Do you think romance will return? What sort of system would you like to see for DD2? I'm following content for DD2 up until the game's very launch, so stay tuned for more from me. But until next one, I've been Jackdaw, and I should go.